So someone wrote in and said, I come from Asia, and I realize that what I'm sharing is true of most cultures. People will say everything is fine when they don't really mean it.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, I've had sexual partners who that they report that they love our connection, our interaction, we're regular partners, and I ask them to let me know if anything is uncomfortable or if everything feels good. They say everything is great, and then one day they suddenly burst out with how terrible and selfish I am, and kind of the relationship breaks down, and I get upset because it's surprised. It might have been 15 minutes ago they were saying everything was great. I can't find a solution to this. How do I get around knowing when someone's not being honest about how they feel about things? This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy Vartuli from theintimacydojo.com, and we love your questions.
Leave them below in the comments or message us and we'll get them.
All right. So how do you prevent that from happening? Go ahead, Cathy Vartuli. Fix this.
Fix this. I know that a lot of people were raised with different situations. Like I was raised to be super polite and never tell anyone I was unhappy. And sometimes it would happen that I would get so frustrated I would suddenly blah that so I've been in both sides of this, and it's not fun to receive, and it's not even fun to be inside of it. So I like to try to talk about things and give people space to really share and even model it. Sharing that, hey, this isn't perfect. I'd like to talk about it now, and sharing that I trust them to be adults and to be honest with me, as honest as they can. You talk about this. People do sometimes make mistakes or tell lies, but we can clean it up as fast as we can. So modeling that and actually making sure I'm speaking up too as I'm going through, like, hey, that was really wonderful, but when we were doing that one thing, I noticed that I was kind of sore, and I'm sorry I didn't speak up in the moment. I was kind of lost in the pleasure, or I was feeling too shy, but I want to let you know now that, like, that that one spot is pretty tender. Can we be a little softer because everything else is really hot, and I want to really enjoy our time together. Modeling that kind of thing and letting, and then inviting that feedback back can be really powerful and help people feel safe and trust you enough to share.
Yeah. I think where I would go with this is in a peer of ours, Betty Martin, who does a workshop called Touch Like a Pro, talks about that we're all trained, we're all raised, I'm going to assume also in Asian culture, to be amazing tolerators of things we don't want or don't like. Like her example is that we've all had our diapers changed when we didn't want our diapers changed. And that we just continue through life learning how to acquiesce. So for me, the upgrade is just stop asking people if this is okay. And instead ask people, how could I do this better? On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being this is the best thing ever, like where am I? And if they say 6, then you say, well, what could I do to make it an 8? And because when you ask people who've been trained to tolerate things they don't like, when you ask them if this is okay, we will all say it's okay because based on me getting my diaper changed when I didn't want to, this is okay.
It's a lot better than getting my diaper changed.
Yeah, and this is not, but it doesn't give us any information or help the other person practice to give us feedback on how to improve things. And so I would start there.
This is something you do at workshops that I've seen I really like, is either write down or share 3 things you really loved, which lets them anchor the fun things, and 3 things you'd like to upgrade or do differently.
Yeah. And if you want bonus points, 3 things that you're afraid to tell me that you like.
Yeah.
And slowly exercise those muscles, which are not going to happen overnight, depending on your life experience and what culture you're raised in. You're exercising your ability to speak up muscles for all people involved. Like, this is a game that you can play in the business world. It doesn't have to be about sex. It's like, hey, what are 3 things that you really like about how we work together? What are 3 things I could be doing better? What are 3 things you're afraid to ask me to do at work that would really make this rock for us?
Bring me coffee.
Done. Boom. But so change the awareness piece is like, oh, we all ask if this is okay. And also noticing for yourself when people ask you if this is okay, if you just say, yeah, like just naturally, like, how are you today? Oh, I'm fine. Like,
yeah, everybody does that.
We're so habituated to tolerate or say that things are fine that we don't actually even check in and be like, hang on, how am I doing today? Well, I'm doing this way. And you know what would actually make my day better? If you did this. Would you be willing to try that? We don't take that kind of time because we don't want to inconvenience people, because ultimately we don't want to make mommy and daddy upset if you had a mommy and daddy. And so we just try to tolerate things so that we don't upset people.
Right. So going back to your situation, one thing is to notice, are people actually giving you feedback in the moment, or are they just kind of, oh, everything's perfect. That could be a warning sign, and you could talk to them about it. Mm-hmm. And it's really useful also to have a safe word, not just, some people have safe words for sex, meaning let's stop that activity, but having a relationship or an interaction safe word, like, wow, okay, I'm super triggered because you burst out with that. I need to calm down, cool down. Reid has an article on cool down styles, which is great. Mm-hmm. I need to cool down, and I'd really like to talk about this later when we're both calm and maybe not half naked and high in oxytocin. Yeah.
You can go to readaboutsex.com/ or just look in the search bar, type in cool down styles.
Mm-hmm. I think it's cool down styles, but
it might be / cool down styles. No promising anything. Leave your comments. What do you think? Great question. Give us more.
Yes.
Hit subscribe.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?